So I'm in Wisconsin, and I got inspired today while I was doing an early morning jog around this beautiful landscape. We'll turn it around here too. There we go. Little panoramic view, right? And farming country. We're in farming country. And it's early June, so some of the crops, as you could see behind me, are just starting to grow. I don't see any cornfields around here. But farming on cultivating. So the inspiration today is cultivating spiritual practices, cultivating your spiritual growth, like farming, right? And there's that Jesus quote, that famous parable where he talks about this sowing the seeds, right? And planting the seeds, and he throws seeds on rocks, and throws seeds in weeds, and then throw seeds here, and birds take it away, and throw seeds on fertile soil, right? So all this fertile soil around me. And on the spiritual path, what is let's just be honest, what's fertile soil, right? How do you know when your soil is fertile? And in some regards, you don't. Sometimes it's a mystery, but other times cultivating, doing spiritual practices can be very helpful for the soil. And because some people can be doing spiritual practices, meditating, doing yoga, all of these spiritual practices, devotion, kirtans, Sufi whirling dervishes. I don't want to get anybody sick watching this. Woo! Don't throw up, don't throw up. Ooh, I got a little dizzy there. Can be doing all these spiritual practices, and they haven't awakened yet. For some reason, they're fertile. Their soil isn't fertile yet, right? And it can be very frustrating, very frustrating. And for me, for the grace of Source, whatever, or I was jogging around a city park, and I said a prayer about somebody that I just met, and I surrender, deeply surrender, and boom, I had a satori, and it came out of nowhere. And reading about a lot of people like Ramana Maharshi and Eckhart Tolle, and I think even Adyashanti, and a myriad of Jeff Foster, the awakenings happened. Some of them did cultivate. Some of them, as far as I understand it, Adyashanti did Zen practices for many years, and grew frustrated at them at times, and didn't have the awakening, and then it happened. For some reason, the soil was fertile for his awakening. And And there could be people who just start out on the spiritual path and have the awakening, after a few meditation sessions, right? And they have the awakening, and that's great. And other people could be like, rah, 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 rah. That sucks. I've been doing it for so long, and this other person had an awakening. And I just want to point out too that there are times in my life, and I'm sure in your life, when you did have awakenings, you had openings to your eternal truth. I know I have. In my I remember when I was 18, a senior in high school, and I had a big opening, and I wasn't ready, and I didn't really know what was going on. And even in my 20s, I was at a park in Illinois called Starved Rock, and I had another awakening, and it was just very powerful. But I didn't know. I really didn't know what was going on, and I wasn't ready. So you probably have had many satoris, especially when you're a kid. I mean, when you were just like. So if you're on the spiritual path and you're growing a little frustrated with all your spiritual practices, do you see that? Do you see that little bundle of hay in the background? Do you see that? Okay. So I was jogging down this road earlier, and I saw that bundle of hay, and I was like, ooh, I got inspired by it. And here, let me get I could really smell it. The thing about video is that you can't smell it, right? You could see it, but I could smell it. I mean, this is very recent. And I saw this bundle of hay there. You could see it right there. And I was just kind of contemplating spiritual practices and spiritual growth. And I realized that for some of you out there, one of the reasons that the awakening hasn't happened, or the spiritual growth, maybe you had an awakening and you are working on cultivating that awakening, and it feels like it's closed back down and so forth. So even for post-awakened persons, and I definitely have gone through that, even after my awakening, I went back down. Okay, so this is part of the lesson. And I got this from Adyashanti during one of his talks, where he talks about spiritual practices and so forth, that it's do it like this, right? Do it like this, not like this, like that, right? And this, so you might be doing spiritual practices, and this is actually what you're doing, right? This is actually what you're doing. You're all wound up. You see that? You're all tight. You're doing the spiritual practices, maybe you're not doing it with that silly face, or that you're not doing that. Inwardly you are. You are, I don't know if you could see this in the way background. Maybe I'll walk up this way later. You can't, I don't know if you could see that, but there's actually a tractor. Okay, it just went over I'm gonna walk over there and see if I could, because maybe there's a spiritual lesson with a tractor. But this bale of hay, and it's all wound up tight, right? it's tight, and it's there's no air to breathe, and there's no you're all crunched up, and I'm doing these spiritual practices, and I'm gonna awaken, and I'm gonna rah, 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 rah. And this is the result of it, right? And isn't there like a what's the this story, or where it's hard to find a needle in a haystack, right? And I'm just going to reframe that to a diamond in the haystack, right? Because the diamond is your true self. The diamond is your eternal true self. And when it's all bunched up like this, it's hard to find the diamond. So this is, I'm just taking this off the ground. So when you do spiritual practices and just living in life in general, okay, is, you see that? Maybe this, there. Don't be so bunched up. Let it, there you go. See? This hay. Hay is your spiritual practices, right? Each one of these pieces of hay is your spiritual practice, or just everyday life. And you see, I don't know if you could see that, but it's kind of going with the wind. See, that's kind of flowing with the wind. It's relaxed. It's not so that's a great spiritual practice. And the diamond, okay, it's a metaphor, but the diamond is actually, you see the space? There's space between these flowing. There's spaciousness, right? That's the diamond. The diamond it's not an actual object. It's spaciousness. It's awareness. You see? See in here? There's no spaciousness there. Everything's all tightened up. All right? Take it easy. Take it easy. Oh, there's the tractor in the background. I don't know if you can see that. Way in the background. I mean, look at these vistas. So definitely outside of the city, in Wisconsin. Very present. I mean, this is nature. It's beautiful. You don't have to go to India. You don't have to be in Sedona. You could be in freaking Wisconsin, and be present and be an awakened being, right? And take it easy. So there's this song that came to my mind while I was walking up to set this up. It's from the musical Pippin. Okay, there's this song, and it's called "On the Right Track." On the right track, on the right, and it's like Pippin's journey. It's like a hero's journey. The guy who wrote Godspell and Wicked. Stephen Schwartz, I think, is his name. So Pippin, on the right track, and everyone's on the right track. And by the way, here you can see these. You can see that wound up bale of hay. if you feel like you're wound up, you're still on the right track. Okay, that's why you have teachers. That's why you have teachers who can help you, point you in the right direction. All right, or intuitively, you could have your inner mentor, who, your little Obi-Wan Kenobi inside you, who can give you nudges in the right direction, right? So, and then you could like relax. You could have this inner mentor who tells you to relax, chill out. So, yeah. So on the right track, that song, and he says, take it easy. He says, on the right track, on the right track. And he says, so Pippin sings, on the right track, on the right track. And the narrator says, take it easy, right? So when you're on the path, and the path that you're on right now, you're on the right track. Even if you're in deep pain bodies, and believe me, I've been there before, and I was like, oh, this isn't the right track, this sucks, but you're on the right track, because everything's perfect. There's deep wisdom in everything that you are going through. The good, the bad, the ugly. Even if you're all tight and wound up like a bale of hay. And then take it easy. I think there's an Eagles song that says the same thing. Take it easy. Da na 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 da na na na. See, look at that farm. Really, silos, red barn, very picturesque. So we'll just walk over here to see if this tractor. But yeah, so so take it easy. So I think one of the big messages in this is take it easy on the spiritual path. And I know many of us, we want to grip it. We want to, depending on your personality type, especially if you go on the Enneagram, different personality types will approach spirituality differently, like anything in life, right? So we're getting close to this farmer, and so we're so see this tractor right behind me. There you go. Look at that. See that guy he's just cultivating. So we're plowing, we're cultivating the story. So many of us feel like, well, a closer look, it looks like he's cutting hay. So, but just think of it like a plow, tilling the soil. Okay, and we could feel like that. We could feel like we're, Farmer John, Farmer Jane, tilling the soil, constantly doing meditations, constantly doing yoga practices, constantly doing, breath work, constantly doing energy work. And we're constantly on our tractor, right? And we're constantly doing this, trying to make, and we're fertilizing it too with watching YouTube videos like this. Yeah, so I'm actually making fun because my own videos, because even these videos, and I'll just be honest with you, even you can get addicted to watching videos, and you could be passively watching them, and you could actually be doing this. You could be watching YouTube videos and being like a bale of hay and being, I'm watching this tonight, to become enlightened, and it's not going to happen, okay? Even mine, I'll just be honest with you. It doesn't matter who. It could be Eckhart Tolle. It could be somebody who is also had an awakening and is also posting their experience. Okay, who knows? But if you watch these videos, okay, like this, not like this. If you watch the videos like this, if you're on the tractor, like you see back there, if you're on a tractor, doing these spiritual practices metaphorically, and you're gripping the steering wheel of the tractor, and you're like, oh, I'm planting this stuff, and it's gonna grow, and damn it, I'm gonna become enlightened. It's not gonna happen. That field is going to be fallow, or it's not gonna grow. But if you do it like this, if you're on the tractor and your hand is like this on the wheel, right? Not like this, not like that bale of hay, like this, right? Energetically, that's that's it, right? That's it. And also, you see the silos behind. We could get the silos can represent store, right? Silos are used to store feed or the crop or whatever, right? And we can feel like trying to do it like the silo is also not going to work, because it's almost like being in first grade, second grade, third grade, so it's like accumulating spiritual knowledge, right? I'm accumulating spiritual knowledge and spiritual gold stars. So I'm meditating for 10 years, okay? I got a nice blue ribbon for that. I get the blue ribbon for meditating for 10 years. And I've been reading, Eckhart Tolle and Adyashanti and Osho or Gangaji, Ramana Maharshi, Rumi, everyone else. And I actually can quote them very well. Probably you could quote them better than me, I will admit. And, you could be this, almost like this spiritual scholar, right? And you're storing up all the spiritual knowledge into your silos, okay? Into the silos, right? But that's where they stay, you know. That's it. It's you're not the silos. All silos have a top, right? They, all silos have a top. They never open up, and you could be like a silo. You could be like a silo with spiritual knowledge, and you're actually just like these bales of hay. You're actually this, and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. And that's why a lot of spiritual teachers, and that's why a lot of Zen teachers, you know, you come to them with this resume of, it's actually kind of funny, think about it. I should do a skit on that one day, but it's like, you want to become a student of a Zen master or a spiritual teacher, and you bring your resume to them, and you're really proud of your resume, right? You're really proud of your silo, right? And all these spiritual accomplishments, knowledge, and the Zen teacher starts looking it over and reads it, and you know what the Zen teacher's gonna do? He's gonna just rip that up, right? Rip that up, and you're gonna be like, oh God, what? And ripping that up can be the best thing for you, right? So I'm just gonna, so seeing this bale of hay, I'm gonna, seeing that bale of hay, right? That's what you are. And what I'm doing is, I'm not gonna rip that up. It took a lot of work to do that. I'm not gonna, but look at that. This is it. This is what I would do. If you came to me with a resume of all the spiritual knowledge, I would just rip it up, throw it into the wind, and set you free. Set you free. Set your truth, because your truth is beyond any of this knowledge bullshit. Manure. I'm not around any cow pastures, so for my next thing I'm going to show manure. But your truth is beyond all that. It's so simple too. It's simple. See this? I mean, if you think about it, farming and tilling the land is very simple. It's not like it is very organic. It's simple, organic. It's to the land, right? It's outside. It's in nature, and it's not like being a complicated person, an author, an artist. I always wanted to be an artist, and who knows? Maybe this is there's artfulness to these videos, but the mind, the mind as an artist or an engineer or smart people, we make things so complicated. We make things so complicated on the spiritual path when it's actually very simple. It's like farming is simple. You just put the seed in the, I mean, a little more than that, but it's simple in its essence. Put the seed in the ground and it grows, right? And Oh, there's a hawk. That's pretty far away. I don't know if you can see it in the sky, but it's simple. It's as simple as the land, as in the blue sky that you see up behind me. Oh wow, look at that. That's can you see that? That's a hawk or something flying on the. It's seeing some food, some rodents. What do they call them? The heat 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 trails, or the heat things that they just put their wings out. And that's actually a great metaphor too for, I don't know if you can you see that, the hawk. So it's actually, that's a great metaphor for just put your wings out. You don't have to okay, spiritual lesson. Do not do, you're flapping your wings. You're trying too hard. You're flapping your wings you're flapping your wings to get to a future place. You're gripping your spiritual practice to get to a future place. And that place is actually here now. All what you have to do, okay, the hawks are gone. Maybe they found their food. But all what you have to do is hold out your wings right now. Hold out your wings and just float. Hold out your wings and float, and you will be taken to eternity. Because it's here right now. It's here right now. And it's simple. It's not complicated. So get rid of all the notions of that this awakening is complicated. And that could be hard for people. And I totally understand it. I totally understand it. But take it easy. You are on the right track. Take it easy. Don't be like this. Be like this. Be like that. Right? And I'm just gonna sit down here and meditate with you with just the wind blowing, the grass blowing behind me. See how simple this is? See, this is God's country. And when I say God, I mean your eternal truth country. And I don't mean this country, it's a beautiful setting, I have to admit. But anywhere you're at, I feel this way even in Chicago, an urban center is God's country. Even if you're in a busy city, even if you're in a factory town, right? That's God's country. Wherever you are at, presence is there. Presence is everywhere. You are presence. All right. All right. All right. Love you guys. And until next time, or until we meet again next time in